I'm here today with Colin McLean's dad and grandma, Scott and Brenda, and they're just talking about what life was like before Brain Balance and after 6 months in the program, the changes that they've seen in Colin. So go ahead, guys.
Well, I guess before Brain Balance, Colin was very, what's the word?
We had a lot
Compulsive,
of meltdowns.
yeah.
Compulsive, had a
It's
lot
very
of
com-
meltdowns.
Yeah, very compulsive in nature. Compulsive as far as his behavior with himself, his behavior with others, and it caused, there was a lot of issues with anger, frustration, with both of us, the family, at church, his
at
peers, at school. He had a very difficult time understanding and grasping the concept of cause and effect. His behavior was the cause, or his compulsiveness was the cause, and it affected the relationships and his dealings and interactions with everybody around him, and it didn't matter age.
He was insensitive to other people. He didn't understand,
Emotion or feeling.
how he affected other people. So at school, he was always in someone else's space, not understanding that he can't just touch people or push people when he didn't get his way, and
Didn't understand he couldn't get frustrated and just mouth off and be rude. Mainly to peers. He did it to those that were in authority over him, but when he was out in social settings with older people, he was okay with that most of the time. As far as the program itself, get ready. It's hard.
it's commitment. It takes a lot of commitment. And you have to, when you go into it, you have to understand that, because he was in it all summer. And so I had to realize that my whole summer, from the time his dad would bring him to me in the morning till we picked him up in the evening, that was it. It was going to be that. And so it is hard, and you have to realize that it's for the better. And of course, while you're doing this, and you're causing that part of the brain, that whichever side it is that's behind, to catch up. It's the brain, I guess, is somewhat frustrated. It's trying to hurry, and it causes him to have things he doesn't understand, and new emotions and outbursts and that kind of thing too. But it's been an excellent program, and he's really understanding. I think a lot. He doesn't like Brain Balance now. He doesn't like the exercises. He's waited for this time it would be over, but I know eventually he's going to realize where it's brought him.
If you can kind of, to use an analogy, if you can kind of imagine somebody that has gone through or experienced a stroke, and it has affected them to the point physically and mentally to where they have to relearn everything, and how frustrating it is for them, or some type of a disability, like a veteran or somebody that comes back and has to relearn how to walk with new legs, or eat without hands, or whatever. It's frustrating, and it's hard on those everybody else around that's trying to help, especially for an 8-year-old child trying to help when they don't really understand. You're exactly right. It's commitment, but it's well worth it.
Yeah. So where are you guys at now? Where is Colin?
Colin's an 8-year-old boy. There are we still have moments of regression, but they're few and far between. And I fully expect for those to kind of taper off to a certain extent. There are times when he just does things that any normal 8-year-old boy would do. So I mean, it's a different lifestyle. It's a different you really have to understand that this will change your parenting. This will change how you view your child. But it will change it for the best, and it will change it for good. I can sit and be the kind of parent that I need to be, and not have to be mean dad all the time, or constantly frustrated and exhausted at the end of the day. Now the only exhaustion is just from sitting and listening to him talk and trying to keep up with this conversation.
He's a genius.
But I can sit and have discussions with my son. I can ask him to do things, and he may not like it. No, most normal 8-year-old children wouldn't, but he will do them. And if he does have an outburst where he kind of backslides into that compulsiveness as far as his emotion and how he talks to you, he immediately turns back around and says, "Well, I didn't mean for that to be rude. I didn't mean that. This is what I meant." Yeah. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
He's taking responsibility for his actions sometimes before you even get a chance to say anything to him. So, he'll say, just like Scott just said, "I didn't mean to sound that way," or, "I'm sorry." For him to even say "I'm sorry" was nothing he would ever say on his own before we started the program at all. So, and I was telling you, whenever Scott would pick him up in the summer, he'd always have to say, "Did you give Grandma a goodbye kiss and tell her that you loved her?" "Oh, no." And he'd come back and get that half hug sometimes, and out the door he'd go. But now then that he's been through most of this, taking him home from the bus stop and to his house, and I would just pull in the drive, and he would go up to the door. I would roll the window down. He'd walk by on my side, and he would come and give me a kiss goodbye. And then when he got up to the front of the car, he'd give me the heart. So he's doing that on his own. Though he's understanding, he's more affectionate. He's understanding other people's feelings and emotions that he didn't have before.
He's developed. He always has been a sweet kid, and a very conscientious kid. But the conscientiousness never developed into compassion and thoughtfulness. And now he's developed that sense of compassion and thoughtfulness.
So cool.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good work.
Yes.